Hi everyone! Today's video is going to be my favorite makeup products of 2019. This does not include palettes though, mostly, because I've already filmed a palette video favorites of 2019, but there were a few that I forgot, so I've included them in this video. However, if you are interested in my palette favorites of 2019, I will link to that down below. If you are curious about these balloons, there is no special reason that I have them. I'm not celebrating anything, but I was at my work, a Christmas party this past week, and they had these on display, and as we were leaving the event, they're like, does anybody want them? And I'm like, I do. For no other reason than to put them in the background of a video because it looks kind of interesting. I'm gonna kick off my favorites for 2019 by talking about a product that I should have mentioned for my favorites of 2018, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't. They are the Tarte Quench Lip Rescue Lip Balms. I have gone through so many of these over the last few years, and I keep buying more. I was initially sent the entire collection by Tarte probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago now. And as soon as I started using them, I'm like, wow, there's something special about these. They come in cardboard packaging, which I think is kind of fun. I know not everybody's into that, but I think it's kind of neat. They are kind of pricey though, so I think that's why people are a little bit annoyed about the semi-cheap-esque packaging. Anyway, these are basically just a lip balm. They've got a minty scent and flavor to them, and these work wonders to repair my lips. Honestly, probably one of the best lip balms that I have ever used. I use these continuously when I'm on vacation because for whatever reason, when I land in a different place, my lips just get chapped and really horrible, and this is the best thing to put on them. So this one is the clear one, and then I did just recently buy 2 more during Sephora's, I guess they had a sale on, but these are part of Tarte's holiday collection. And there's nude, which is part of the regular line. This is just slightly different packaging. And then another one that's new, I think, is Holly, which you can only get in this duo pack, which is a little bit more of a tinted color. Most of these go on very, very sheer and only impart like the faintest whisper of color, which can be quite handy because as a gloss and a lip balm, I don't really want anything too colorful on my lips just because inevitably it will get everywhere. So I really love these. They're super hydrating, they're comfortable to wear, and they smell fantastic. Okay, now the next one is a palette I should have mentioned in my palettes video, but I totally forgot about it. And sadly, it's not a new product and you definitely can't get your hands on it. But I have used the ABH Glow Kit that was in collaboration with Nicole Guerriero so much this last year that I have to mention it. I'm so sorry to the people that can't get their hands on it anymore, but if you have this in your collection, it's a really special item. I initially thought that this palette was kind of like, meh, like the colors don't seem that unique really, but on the face, they are luminescent. They are ethereal. They are so freaking beautiful. These are hands down my favorite natural colored highlighters. I do wear a lot of like blues and greens as highlighters because I still really like that trend. But when I want something that's luminescent and on the more natural side of things, I always go back to this palette. My most used ones out of here, oddly, are Glow Getter, which you would initially think is a little bit too deep for me. It's not. It looks fantastic. And then Forever Young, which is like a weird taupe-ish shade. Again, not a color that I ever really thought was going to work as a highlighter, but it's so beautiful. And then there's like a more fun orange over here if I'm wearing a more orange look. And then honestly, this white one down here doesn't get a whole lot of use out of me because I'm not that pale. But I will occasionally use it as like an inner corner highlight on my eyes. I wish this hadn't been limited edition because this is one of the best ones that they have ever put out. 2 more items that I guess can kind of qualify as palettes, but I didn't really think to put them in my palette video because they're not eyeshadow and they're not very large either. These are the Benefit Cheekleaders. This one is the Mini Bronze Squad, and then this is the Mini Pink Squad. I have long sort of complained about the fact that I just don't like Benefit's box packaging. I just find it really cumbersome. I don't like the brush in there. I don't think anybody does really. And it's bulky. It's unnecessary bulk in my makeup packaging. So when they launched these mini palettes this past year, I was so excited because it's cardboard packaging, which I love, and they're very flat and compact, and there's a mirror in there. It's just the best thing ever because I do really like Benefit's quality of powders, but I cannot with those boxes. They're too bulky. So this one has Gold Rush, Cookie, and then Hula. So this one is handy because it's got everything you need. This one had a little bit more blush in here as well as a highlighter. So the Mini Pink Squad had California, Tickle, which is a highlighter, and then Dandelion. The blushes are all part of their regular lineup. I just love having them in this kind of format because they're so compact. They're so easy to grab for travel. I have traveled with them and it was everything I needed because this one has a little bit more pink and then a coral shaded blush with an interesting highlight. Actually, I haven't mentioned that. The Tickle highlighter in here is bizarre and very unique and very cool. It's kind of a pink highlighter when you look at it, but then the shift off of it is like gold and lavender. It is so unique and so special, and they have made it a permanent full-sized highlighter now, so you can go get it in the box packaging. I just really like the compactness of these ones. These were limited edition too, sadly, and you can't buy them this way anymore, although they did launch, I think, 2 more for the holidays that don't have quite the same mashup of colors in here, but I was debating getting those, and then I was like, calm yourself, you've already got these and they're fantastic. So I would recommend Benefit box powders in general for the quality, but in terms of packaging, I much prefer these. The next item I have to talk about is NYX's Off Tropic Pro Liners. This was another, oh, this is annoying. This was another limited edition collection from NYX, although they're still available in Canada, by the way. You can buy them at Shoppers Drug Mart. The whole range is still there. Just a heads up. But if you're in the US or I guess anywhere else, you can't get them anymore, which is really aggravating. Anyway, the Off Tropic collection was gorgeous. I loved the palettes from that collection, and I really love the Pro Liners. Now, there's a little bit of a problem with these Pro Liners because I wear them as an eyeliner. I put them on my lower waterline, but they're not really intended for the eye area, which is really irritating because these are pretty much advertised as if they were eyeliners. I don't have any problems with them, but if you have sensitive eyes, it might be something to consider. I really enjoy these because the color selection is phenomenal. It's basically the whole rainbow spectrum in really bright shades. I was initially sent these 3 colors, I think it was, from the brand. So you got a blue, a pink, and a yellow. And I love these so much that I started snapping up more colors. So I've got a more aqua one right here and then an orange one as well. And I think the green one is still in my bedroom right now. I just think these are fantastic. They're so bright, they're so colorful, and they actually do last on the waterline, which is amazing because that's the only place that I put these. It's not something I would put on my upper lash line because I'm almost always wearing like a winged liner that's black, but I really like this to like bring out the lower lash line area. I'm so enamored with these. I wish they'd made them permanent. So 2019 was the year that I really discovered that I love OPI nail polish. And it kind of started with a PR package that they had sent me for holidays last year. And this was one of those weird things where I was like, why is OPI reaching out to me? I'm not a nail blogger. I have no idea how to photograph my nails. And I never really showcased nail polish. But they offered to send me a package and I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot because over the years I have gotten really good with my nails, I think. They're a really nice length and they're quite strong, so I like to paint them. So they sent me this package and I was really impressed with OPI. I know everybody has been on the OPI train for years and years, but I don't know, I just didn't use them very much. I think I've got 2 polishes in my collection before they started sending packages. So since that launch, OPI has continued to send me their collections and I just really like the brand. But the one collection that stood out to me the most in 2019 was their Tokyo collection. That collection, I don't know, the colors just really spoke to me. They were bright, they were vibrant. A lot of them were a cream finish, which makes me happy because I really like cream finish nail polish over shimmery or shiny generally. So I pulled out 3 of the colors that I think I use the most. So the ones I've got here are Suzi-san Climbs Fuji-san, and there is another one in the collection that's very similar to this one. I think it just has a bit more of a blue edge. I wore these 2 interchangeably. They're so lovely. And then I've got How Does Your Zen Garden Grow? A very fun pale green. Oh, love this color. And then I think I got the most use out of this one. It's looking a little bit worse for wear. There's polish all over it. It's called Kanpai OPI. A beautiful lavender with a hint of gray to it. I don't think there's a polish in that collection that I didn't like. They were so good. And again, a lot of them were a cream formula. I think all of them were. Not positive about that, but most of them were, and that's my favorite kind of finish. So I was really impressed with this collection, and I mean, with OPI in general. I just think that they make fantastic quality nail polishes, which is news to nobody, really. I'm just a little bit late on that bandwagon. All right, let's talk about lipstick next, because I've got a few of them to discuss. So first up, let's talk about Bite. I've been a huge fan of Bite for quite a few years now. I think it was Tiffany D that first started talking about Bite Beauty years ago, and she would not stop talking about the shade Fig, and that became like my perfect pink lipstick color. And since then, Bite has just continued to impress me, not only with their formula that they always keep changing, and right now I'm pretty sure they're reformulating their lipsticks because they're all discounted massively on Sephora. So their formula has always been impressive to me, but their shade range is also really unique. So there's 3 colors here that I use the most this year, I think. I've been logging it since like last January, so I've been trying to make sure that if I've been wearing it consistently, I was writing it down in my notes so I could talk about it. This one was from their recent road trip collection. It's called Bite of Atlanta, and it's a My Lips But Better if they were on the more peach side of things. It's just that perfect peach pink color that sort of works with everything that's a more neutral toned look. I just think it's really easy to wear. It's beautiful on me. I think it just really brings out my features too. So I really liked the Atlanta shade. And then the other one I have here is not dissimilar actually from Atlanta. This one is called Lit Turmeric, and it was from their Spice collection from last summer. So if I compare these two, they're probably quite, yeah. They are very, very similar. Atlanta has a little bit more pink mauve in it versus Lit Turmeric has a little bit more of a yellow base to it, which I thought was really interesting. And I really fell in love with yellow eyeshadow this summer. So I was pairing Lit Turmeric a lot with it because I felt like the tones really went together. So Lit Turmeric has been a definite favorite for quite a while now because I did use it not only just this year, but also last year as well. And then the other one that I was surprised I got so much use out of it, I don't really know why I'm surprised by it. It's Crushed Chili, which was part of their Spice collection as well. I really liked that Spice collection. I thought it was really special. It does go on the lips a little bit red, and actually I'm looking in the viewfinder and this looks quite red in comparison to what I see IRL. But I found I was pairing this a lot with deeper fall looks, which is when I got the most use out of it. It was pretty much, I think, through September through October. It was another easy to wear shade. Sometimes when I wanted to reach for a red lipstick, I found that the red was either too bright and wouldn't match my eye color or was just the wrong tone. This one seemed to work with a lot of different eye looks, so I pulled out Crushed Chili way more than I was expecting this year. Sticking with lipstick, I'm gonna talk about the Too Faced Peach Kiss lipsticks. I definitely used these more in the first half of the year than I did in the second half, mostly because I think I've been reaching for Bite more recently. But I really like these. These are, I think they call them a moisture matte formula, and it does go on the lips matte, but it feels fairly emollient. Like it's quite comfortable for a matte formula. The one that I've been using the most has been Peach Beach, which was part of their initial launch. The packaging is a little bit different. They no longer have that peach symbol on it because I think they got sued by, oh man, who were they sued by? I can't remember. Anyway, the packaging is a little bit different now. Peach Beach is my favorite. It's such a great, vibrant coral color. And then the other one that I've been using a ton has been Disrobed, which is a little bit more of, I guess it's a neutral nude type color. Again, pairs really well with all kinds of bright eyeshadow looks. I found myself gravitating towards this a lot because it just seemed to work with bright eyeshadow. And it's one of those fail-safe lip colors, really. I've been mixing a lot of these too. Like these are not the only ones that I have. I think I've got 4 more, and I've reached for a lot of those as well. I just wanted to mention these two because I think I've used them the most. But I do really enjoy this formula. I find it comfortable. It's very pigmented and opaque. Love the shades in here and also love how they feel. Okay, 2 last lip products to talk about. Suva Beauty, I think at the start of this year, launched their Moisture Matte liquid lipsticks. Wait, Moisture Matte. I thought the Too Faced ones were called Moisture Matte. Maybe I'm wrong there. Anyway, Suva Beauty launched these liquid lipsticks, and these are the 2 shades that I ended up using the most from the collection. This first one is called Dreamer, and this is quite pink. I'm not drawn to pink as a color. I don't find it appealing. I don't really, like, I don't know. There's just something about pink that I don't love. However, it's very flattering on, so I've been wearing it a little bit more. I do find this color is very similar to Bite's Fig lipstick, so I would interchange between these two depending on which pink I wanted to wear. And then the other one, I got so much use out of this. This is called Awakening, and it's basically a nude. It just works out really well with bright eyeshadow looks. And I feel like a lot of the lipsticks that I have mentioned in this video have been ones that have worked with bright eyeshadow because I guess 2019 was the year that I discovered I do like a nude lip with a bright eyeshadow. I feel like previous years I was always trying to mesh a bright eyeshadow look with a bright lip, and it can work, but I don't feel like I'm very good at that. Anyway, this color is beautiful, and I really like the smell of these. They're like vanilla cookie batter. Oh, it's intoxicating. They smell so freaking good. And they are a liquid lipstick, so you will find that they are a little bit more drying on the lips than a regular bullet lipstick, but the longevity is excellent, and I do really like these ones by Suva Beauty. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Quo. They are a Canadian brand. They are sold at Shoppers Drug Mart. It is their home brand, so you can only get it at Shoppers Drug Mart. And they launched a brush collection this year that was pretty massive. There were a lot of brushes in it, and there's two in particular that I found myself really happy with. So the first one here is a foundation brush. This might just be called their foundation brush. It is called the HD foundation brush. And when I first got this one, I was like, I didn't think I was gonna be that into it. I like to apply my foundation with a sponge. I feel like that gives me a very seamless look because generally I'm not good at applying foundation with a brush. I leave streak marks all over my face and it just doesn't look good. So I've been using a sponge for years because I'm just terrible with a brush. There's something special about this one though, because this never left me with streak marks on my face, which is incredible because I've tried a whole range of brushes and all of them have failed, or I've failed anyway. So I also didn't think this was gonna work because it's so bloody small, but it just works. You just drag it over your face, you apply your foundation as you would, and it's seamless. It's really soft too, which feels nice on the face. The shape of this just seems to work out for foundation, even though it's tiny. Like I consider this very small, but I don't know, it just works. It's a great, great brush. And then the other one that I've been loving is this, what do you call it? Crease diffuser brush. I've definitely not been using this in my crease. I've been using this to blend out my brow bone highlight shade. I was using a MAC 275 for probably 20 years in that area, and it worked, but it's a really weird angled floppy brush, and I just had never found something better to work in that area. This one's fantastic for that. I feel like it's dense enough that it will pack on the color, but it's soft enough that it will blend it out and into your crease color, which is how I use my brow bone highlight shade. I want something that's gonna blend out the crease color, and this works phenomenally for that. I use it every single day. I'd never reach from a MAC 275 anymore. This one's really good. And sticking with Quo, I have to talk about their waterless brush cleanser. This is a rapid dry formula, and it's basically just a spray onto your brush. You take your brush and then you wipe it off on a piece of Kleenex or a piece of paper towel to get the product out if you really need to get color out immediately without fully washing your brushes. Because you know, if you go and wash your brush, it's gonna be damp for like 6 hours or more and not really usable. This will get the color out of the brush, and then if you wait, like let's say 30 seconds to a minute, the brush is basically dry and you can go back into the powder or the cream that you're using. It's so handy. It is so freaking handy, especially if you're somebody that uses either a lot of dark eyeshadow colors or a lot of bright eyeshadow colors, because if you don't have enough brushes to cover the range of colors that you're gonna be putting on your eyes, usually you end up muddying the colors because the brush is like it's got green and then it's got black on it. It just doesn't work out very well. So this is great because instead of using a color switch, which I have never found to work, by the way, I don't know why people rave about those things. They don't work for me. This works and it gets the color out beautifully. Love this thing. I will always have it on hand. Okay, I only recently started using these, but I have to talk about them because they are so special. These are the Clionadh Cosmetics Multi-Chrome Stained Glass Collection eyeshadows. I have never seen eyeshadow like this before in my life. They are so pigmented, and the change in colors on these is completely unreal. Like, I see pictures of the swatches online and I'm still like, how do you exist? And yet I own them. So I ended up with 8 colors this year. which is a lot of money because they're $25 each, and that's expensive. So yeah, this is a $200 eyeshadow palette right here. Oh, they're worth it. I don't know how to say that without sounding completely ridiculous, but this is a $25 eyeshadow that is absolutely worth it. These are a Canadian brand, which feels very cool to say because at least I'm supporting local. They're actually in Toronto somewhere. I've never actually been to their store, but they have like a warehouse locally. So I've had these shipped to me. I've been using them and they're something else. They're truly special. I'm so happy to own them. And I always try to show the reflect on here and I always fail miserably. Somebody said once, if you look at the reflect in the mirror, it looks different. Anyway, they're truly special. I love them so, so much. Here's another lip balm I have to talk about. This is the Bite Agave Plus Nighttime Lip Therapy. I had previously used their original iteration of the lip therapy. I can't remember the exact name of it, but they relaunched it, I think, this year, and this is so much better on my lips. I'm getting there with the tube. I'm almost done, and I think they've discontinued it yet again. Why do they keep doing this? I'm sure they're improving the formula, but I swear they just came out with this and now it's like discounted down to like 25% of the original cost. I think they're reformulating it along with their lipsticks. Anyway, this is fantastic. This goes on my lips pretty thick, but it actually turns into a little bit more of an oil. It's really interesting, quite unique, because I don't feel like most lip balms I've put on have felt like an oil after the fact. I use this at night, like it does suggest, and it just heals my lips overnight. I wear a lot of lipstick during the day at work and I need something that's gonna repair my lips overnight, and this is an absolute treat. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. And next is a highlighter. So this is by Makeup Revolution. It's their Strobe highlighter in the shade Northern Lights, which is a very ethereal, alien-esque green. I was gifted this by my friend Dominica when I met up with her in London. And she gave this to me because she thought I would like it, and she is 100% correct. This is beautiful. I know Makeup Revolution has a whole bunch of different colored highlighters in this format, but this is the only one that I have, and it's just gorgeous. It's not natural looking. It is a green highlighter, but I'm still all about that life. And I just found that this worked really well on me, particularly when my skin's a little bit paler. It didn't work out that well for me I think during the summer months, just because when I get a bit of a tan, this starts to look a little bit strange on me. But when I'm paler, like what I am right now, this looks really beautiful because it just looks like, I don't know, like fairy-esque, like ethereal, like I'm some transcendent being with weird glowy colors. I love this thing to pieces, and I would consider getting more from this range, but I've got so many highlighters right now, I don't really want to pick any more up, but dang, this is a pretty color. Okay, the very last item I have to talk about is by INGLOT. These are their Body Sparkles Crystals, and I'm pretty sure these launched at the start of 2019 or maybe it was the end of 2018. These are really tiny containers, and it's gonna be a little bit hard to show you, but these are basically flaky glitters. They're not a true glitter in the sense that you're not seeing like sparkle and shine like you would on a regular small cut glitter. These are flakes that are mostly iridescent. There's a gold in the collection, but most of them reflect a certain color. So this one here I think is more of a teal one. They're all numbered, which is a little bit irritating. This one is 103, and then I've got 101 here as well, but I have the whole collection and they're all lovely. So what I like about these is I put them on the inner corner of my eye for a little bit of a different effect. I like the little flaky aspect because it looks like something different. Like I love glitter, I wear glitter all the time, but sometimes I just want a different type of glitter. So that's what these are. I'm not entirely sure that they're eye safe. The chunks are quite large, but I've never had an issue, and I always apply them with like glitter glue, and I just think they're really special. I've been talking for quite a while about how much I like ivory iridescent duochrome colors, and to have that in a flaky glitter is really exciting to me, and I love INGLOT, so really happy that they came out with these because I use them quite often actually. I'm usually putting them on the inner corner of my eye. You can put them on the lid. I just don't love that effect as much, but on the inner corner of the eye, these are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that is it for my favorites of 2019. Those are all the beauty products that I've been loving so much in the last year. If you are interested in the palette video, I will link to that down below because that's more favorites for the year. Hope you found this interesting. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!